goes down very intense reality. And there is so much suffering in the world today and in our own lives. How do we make sense of any of it? So when your body gets aligned, then you can relax a little bit more, and then you open. And when you open to something bigger, life gets so much better. There's a topic that fascinates me, which is part of the foundation of Ashaya Yoga, which is the 5 elements. It's actually called the Pancha Mahabhutas, or the 5 great elements. And it's earth, water, fire, air, and sky. And these elements are everywhere in the universe, and they're the constituents of our consciousness. They are what make up everything in the universe. And how interesting that elements are forged in stars. And so we could say we are star babies, that the very essence of who we are comes from the universe. And that's one of the deeper teachings in the Tantra, is to come to a recognition of the universal within our individual nature. So we'll be embodying these 5 elements throughout our practice. For instance, sky is really the quality of openness, where we expand in the infinite eternal space of the sky, where there's no expectation, there's no judgment, there's no pushing, and there's no goal. Sky is just this wide open space that holds a place for you to be as you are. And then earth, we come into our steadfastness, that we're going to hug our muscles towards the bones to really engage, become more solid. We are spirit, but then we're also material, and how to find the place right in the middle between the openness of the sky and the steadfastness of the earth. And then we need water element to be able to flow in the current of grace, to be able to flow around obstacles. And water has a softness. It takes the edge off of earth. And then, of course, fire, which is our passion. What is it that really lights you up in life? And we need to adhere to that with unwavering dedication, to not let anything get in the way of the journey of your own heart. And then the air element, which surrounds the heart, is all about inclusion. It's all about expanding out beyond our self-perceived limitations. The air element also relates to the breath, in that the breath becomes the medium between the dreams we hold on the inside and the manifestation of them on the outside. Just think of the breath, the air element, as a conduit to actually make things happen in the world, to start living the dream that we carry in our hearts. Of course, to live the dream, you have to remove the obstacles like doubt, unworthiness, lack of positivity, lack of hope. And we kind of give up on ourselves and give up on life. So air is the aspiration and the inspiration to grow ourselves, to expand, to take risks, and to see the beauty that we want to manifest in the world come true. So take a comfortable seat, and as you sit, just elevate your hips and roll your thigh bones in. So that's an internal rotation of your thighs, and that generates a low back curve almost automatically. And then draw your tailbone down. Join your index fingers and thumbs together in the Jnana Mudra. And this is symbolic of our individual nature, or our ego, with the index finger that touches the sky, the vastness of consciousness, which is the thumb. So our limited self touches the unlimited self like this. Palms down, so we become the embodiment of that bigger energy. And then close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. As you inhale, imagine your collarbone just open up and broaden and widen like the wings of a great white swan. And then as you exhale, these wings unfold. Invite the light of the universe to fill you in the form of your breath. And when you exhale, release any obstacles, whatever keeps you from being fully in your heart. As you exhale, let your hips get heavy. And when you inhale, lengthen your side ribs. Take the head of your arm bones back, lift your throat, and take your palate back. That's the center of the roof of your mouth. And then lift the back of your skull. And see if you can place your palate directly above your pelvis. In Ashaya, we align the head and the heart and the body all together. Let's open to a bigger energy, to recognize that there is an energy that's bigger than our own individual self that we're part of. This is the energy of grace or Shakti or the life force that does its work to purify us, to heal us, and to guide us. But we need to be open to this energy. So let your heart open now. And then breathe into your heart and set your intention for the next 45 minutes. Whatever it is that you want to receive. What is it you're looking for? And just internally set your intention. And then bring your palms together in front of your heart. This is called Anjali Mudra, which is a form or an expression. In this particular mudra, it means to invoke blessings. Let's take a deep breath and we'll chant the infinite sound of Om together. Into the vastness of your own heart, gently bow. And when you're ready, you can lift your head and open your eyes. Namaste. Welcome back. And thanks again for being here. Okay, let's come up to standing. I'll meet you there in just a second. Come to the front of your mat. Stand with your feet hip distance apart, feet parallel, so the front ankle and second toe lines are parallel. And the foundation is really what reflects your intention. So let's open to the sky element here. There's a quality of vastness, unboundedness, palms in front. And just let your skin soften, let your breath flow, lengthen your side ribs, and expand with the infinite nature of the universe. And then lift your toes, hug in, earth. Steadfastness, hug your muscles to the bones. Actually squeeze your feet isometrically toward each other. Look down at your toes and make sure that all 5 toes are lifted. The 5 toes are the 5 elements. Same thing with the fingers. The little toe is earth. So often we ignore the little toe. So earth is not inferior to sky. Earth is everything that sky has, earth has in a condensed form. So I like to say earth is sky condensed. And it really reflects that we are the crystallization of the divine's desire to know itself, that you are the embodiment of sky. So lift the 5th toes. 4 corners of the feet are on the floor. Then take your thighs back, draw your tailbone in, and inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. And exhale, arms out to the side, palms down, palms in front of the heart. Continue a few rounds. Let the breath lead, and you follow. Continue with steadfastness to hug your muscles to the bones. Invoke the presence of earth, which is steady, which is still, which is supportive and safe. At the same time, stay open to the infinite vastness of sky, which holds all possibilities. There are no limitations in the sky. Any limitations, that's like just clouds going across the sky, self-created. Deepen your breath. One more, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward, but lead with your heart. Hinge from your hips. Bend your knees. Lightly touch the floor on your fingers, called eagle talons. If you can't touch, then get a block, and you're going to touch the block right here. Keep your knees bent. That will help. Shins perpendicular to the floor. And then bow. The whole universe is inside of you, as you. And then inhale, take that universe and lift halfway and shine the light from your heart. Exhale and bow. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. So water element has a kind of flow to it. So let yourself flow with the breath. Let each movement glide a little bit more. Water goes around obstacles. Keep your breath fluid. Keep your movements fluid. Very good. Now, exhale, step back into downward facing dog pose. Separate your feet as wide as the hips or a little wider, and then bend your knees. Turn your thighs in to generate more water element. So the water element governs the hips and pelvis. Lift your sitting bones up and you create a low back curve. We call that a water slide because we're on the water element here. Water can flow more swiftly with strong banks. So hug your shins with steadfastness to the middle and widen your sitting bones for flow. Then tailbone in lightly. Now, find the earth with your hands and just claw and pull up from the finger pads and roots up into your armpits and into your heart. Lift your arm bones up more, but keep the heart filled with sky. So the armpits lift, there's earth, but the heart melts with sky. Find the place in the middle. Really, earth and sky, when you get to the place in the middle, is the recognition of our humanness and our divinity together. Our unlimited self and our limited self together. They touch. Then from your heart, push down through your hands. And from your heart, push your heels. Take the base of your shins backwards isometrically. You should be feeling a stretch in your legs, but keep your knees bent, which will keep your low back curve. Good. Frame your ears between your arms. And then exhale. Right leg forward into lunge. Lean onto your left hand. Sweep your right arm up for a twist. Look up. Enjoy the stretch. And then bring your right hand back down. Charge your legs with steadfastness. And inhale. Come up. So you need earth to balance. Hands to hips. Then lift your left thigh a little higher. Right hip back and down. Inhale and stretch your arms. Breathe. Pull in steadfastness from your feet right up to the pelvic core. Then from the pelvic core, with your breath, root down through your feet and inhale, rise up from pelvis up through your fingertips. Reach and expand. The air element always goes from point A to point B. It's a directional energy. Breathe the dreams that you carry in your heart into the fibers of your body and out into the world. Then sweep your arms out to the side slowly and come down, step back, downward dog pose. Deep breaths. Exhale, left foot forward. Come onto the right hand, lift the left arm up and twist. Yep, just reach back, enjoy. Exhale, replace the left hand. Now with steadfastness, charge your legs, really steady, hands to hips. Also scissor your legs back to front, front to back. Then lift your right thigh a little higher. Left hip goes down. Inhale, arms up. Draw on the steadfastness of the earth. And then from your pelvis, root down into the earth and rise. Now, the more you root and the more grounded you are, the higher you can rise. And just lift your heart, lift your spirit, stretch up toward the sky, and breathe. Keep your face relaxed. And how about your fingers? Stretch up through all 5 fingers, all 10 fingers, so you get all the elements there. Thumb is sky, then index finger is air. Middle finger is the fire element, because you can really fire someone up when you give them that finger. And then 4th finger up, water. 5th finger, earth. Sweep your arms out to the side now. Slowly come down, step back, plank. Now, fire element, really hug in. Take your thighs back. Pull your tailbone in, navel back. So the fire element is in the belly. And you know, like fire of digestion. So it's a similar kind of thing. So bring your knees down for a second. It'll be a little bit easier. So what we want to do in the fire element is to engage our core. So you got to pull the ribs in. And right at the base of the ribs is the xiphoid process, a little bone. You've probably heard of that. And the tailbone. And we want to pull xiphoid and tailbone toward each other. So when you're ready, come back up into plank, lift your knees, and pull your tailbone in, and then pull your xiphoid process in, and connect energetically as though there were a little energy cable from xiphoid to tailbone. Now, keep that. Come down to chaturanga. You can put your knees on the floor if you need. So we hover about 4 or 5 inches off the floor. Keep your shoulders at the level of the elbows. Good. Hug in. And with passion and unwavering dedication, stoke the fire. And then exhale all the way down. Inhale, come up. Cobra, claw, and pull your palms isometrically backwards. Come down a little bit. Shoulders back. And breathe. Exhale, release. Get real close to the earth now. Even bring your palms down, hands right on the side of your hips, side of your thighs. Good. And then hug in, hug arms in, hug legs in. And then inhale, come up. This is like the worm pose, coming up out of the earth. Very earthy pose. Exhale down. Place your hands on the floor. Come up. Cobra. So we come up a little bit higher now. Still the same idea as rising up out of a hole in the earth. Here comes the cobra. This time, take your shoulders back and pull the bottom tips of your shoulder blades into the back ribs. Lift your heart more. Then take your palate back and the back of the skull up. So you have curve and then length in your neck. Hug your legs. Then from your pelvis, just push the floor, push out through your toes, and up and out through your spine and head. And then exhale. Slowly come down. Good. Come back into downward facing dog pose. Now, inhale, right leg up high. Hold, lift the inner right thigh a little bit more so that the right knee faces the floor. And then with your fire element, aspire higher with desire. From your heart, root your hands. From your heart, lift even more. Yes, aspire to something higher. Then exhale, big lunge forward, right between your hands. If your leg didn't make it, then you're going to pick it up with the right hand and help to move it forward. Square your left foot to the back edge of the mat and come with your right forearm on your thigh. Utthita Parzakonasana pose. Good. Widen your stance a bit to get your front thigh almost parallel to the floor. And then scissor your legs. Good. Take your thigh bones back. Then tailbone in. With unwavering dedication, you pull the ribs in, and then bow your head a bit, pull in, then take your left arm up and over, and from your pelvis, push down through your feet, and from your pelvis, stretch out through your spine and out through the fingers. Let your breath now be the medium that carries your intention out into the world. Breathe, stretch, expand. For those that want a little more stretch, can you go down to your fingers on the inside of your right leg? If you can't, you could put a block there or just keep your forearm on your thigh. Exhale, spin down to the floor, left knee down, left arm up, and then twist. Elbow across the thigh, palms together, armpits back, and lift your heart. Breathe. Use the leverage of your elbow against your leg to inspire a deeper twist. And let's open to the sky now. Exhale, release, step back, downward dog pose. Deepen your breath. Now left leg up, inner thigh up more. Press the base of your right shin back. Hold it. Rise up higher, aspire higher until you perspire, but before you retire. Lift and then take the base of the right shin back. Exhale, big lunge forward. Square your right foot. Come up, forearm on the left thigh, right hand to your hip, and pause. Remember the universal. That's where we came from. Vastness, infinite. Bend the left leg more, and then squeeze your legs with steadfastness. Hug muscles to bones. Scissor the legs. Draw up earth. Thighs back, tailbone in, and then right arm over the ear. Turn your heart more up to the sky and stretch. Use the air element and your breath to go deeper. Let the air element carry your dreams into reality. And then if you can go deeper, come on down to the fingers. We call it eagle talons. It's fine to stay right where you are. Exhale, spin down to the floor, right knee down. Then right arm up and exhale, twist. Cross the thigh, palms parallel, shoulders back. Now scissor your legs with steadfastness. Lift your heart, shoulders back. And enjoy the stretch, enjoy the breath. Use earth to create a more steadfast connection with elbow to thigh, thigh into elbow. Yeah. Use water to go around the obstacles, soften a bit. Fire to stay committed, don't give up. And air to reach beyond the limitations. Good. Exhale, release. Step back, plank. Now come down to chaturanga. You can put your knees down if you need to. Thighs back, tailbone in, shoulders back. Don't let the shoulders go down. And with unwavering dedication, expand the fire element. From your low belly, push your heels. From your low belly, stretch through your head. That's the air element. Expand. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. Go into downward dog pose. Good. And then glide your right knee forward toward the right hand. So you come into simple pigeon prep pose. Awesome. Okay, in pigeon, curl your back toes under. Hug to the middle. Here's how much hug you need to do. Can you lift your hands and still balance? When you lift, scissor your legs with steadfastness. And there's the earth element coming again. Place the hands lightly. Left hip forward, right hip back. Awesome. Now from your pelvis, push down to the floor. Yeah, and then out through the left big toe ball mount, forward through the front leg. Try to get your hips to go all the way down. Push. Yes. Okay, turn to the left, bend your left knee, grab your left foot, and bring your heel towards your hip for a quad stretch. Press the base of your left thigh, root that down, drag forward, tailbone in. And if you can hold the foot, if you spin your thumb to the inner edge of the big toe and then thumb down, elbow up, curl your toes back over your hand. Turn your ribs a little bit toward the right. Good. Exhale, release. And place your hands, step back, downward dog pose. Exhale, left knee toward the left hand. Second side. Square your hips, right hip forward, left hip back. And then push hips toward the floor. And then out through the right big toe ball mound. And out through the left knee. Then move your hands to the right, bend your right knee, hold the foot, root the base of your thigh that's right next to the knee, above the knee, root that down, and drag your leg forward isometrically. What that does is it opens the water element because your thighs go back. You get a deeper low back curve. Then pull your tailbone in, which is fire. With unwavering dedication, pull the low belly in, heel toward the hip. Spin your hand, thumb down, elbow up. And then the ribs walk a little bit toward the left to be square in front. And you should be feeling a really deep stretch in the quad. Breathe into it. Use your breath to equalize it, to balance it. There's no need to force or go further than you can. But see if you can walk right up to the edge of the boundary of what you can stretch. We always want to go to the boundary and see if we can expand the boundary a little bit. Exhale, release. Come down onto your belly. Bend both knees and reach back for your feet. If you can grab your feet easily, hold the ankle. If you got the ankle, go 1 inch higher up on the leg to the shin. And then bring your knees hip distance and earth. Turn your toes out. Spread your toes. Engage muscles. Then water. Turn your thighs in. Pelvis goes like in a wave away from the floor. Then fire. Tailbone in. Then air. Push your feet or ankles into your hands and rise up. And from your pelvis, stretch through your feet and stretch up through your head. Again, turn your feet out. That'll protect your knees. And the air element will protect your back. So really push from your pelvis out through your knees. Your knees go behind you. They go straight back toward the back of your mat. Keep that as your focus. Shoulders back, heart is soft. Good. Come up just a little more. Take a big breath. And then exhale. Come on down, turn your head to one side. Breathe. Then place your hands under your shoulders. Stretch back to child's pose. Big toes touch. Knees a little wider. Yep. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. And then come onto your back. Grab yourself a block. And bend your knees. Put the block between your upper inner thighs. Short end goes in first, way up high on the thigh. And then feet are hip distance apart. Squeeze the block. If you're super tall, you might need to turn the block widthwise so it's a little wider. I'd like you to try to have your feet hip distance apart. Elbows by your sides, palms parallel, fingers up, shoulders back. Hug your shoulder blades onto the back of the heart. All right, with steadfastness, squeeze the block and then create a low back curve. So move the block towards your heels, arch your back. There's water. Scoop your tailbone in for fire and inhale, come up. With steadfastness, pull your heels isometrically backwards toward the palate. And then move the block down with your thighs while you push your pelvis up. So the hips go higher, but the thighs go in and down. That's a combination of water and fire. We get the water to boil. And you might start to feel that in your glutes. Then from your palate, root the head and extend your thigh bones long. Breathe. Let the breath carry your dreams into reality. And then just engage all the 5 elements. They work all at the same time. They bring about such an incredible heightened sense of balance. And then exhale, slowly release hips to the floor. Receive deeply. Remove the block. Bring your arms in cactus. Separate your feet wider than the hips. And windshield wiper your knees to the left. Roll your right thigh in a lot. And then for a little deeper stretch, put your left ankle on top of the right knee. Twist to the right. Bring your right shoulder toward the floor. And then stretch your right arm as much as you can overhead on the floor. And then push from your pelvis to the right knee and through the right fingers. One more deep breath. Stretch. And inhale, come out. Knees to center. And then bring your knees to the right. Right ankle on the left knee. Twist left. Inner rotate your thighs, but especially the left thigh. Stick your butt out and then pull your tailbone in. Then let's use air element to increase the stretch. So left arm on the floor overhead, stretch. But from your pelvis, push through your left knee. Grow your thigh bone. And stretch up through the left fingers. Expand. Air has a way of, it will expand beyond previously held boundaries. It's like an air pressure that expands from the inside. Exhale. Lower your arm. Inhale, bring your legs back to center. Adjust your hips and give yourself a hug. Draw your knees in. Knees to chest. And then feet back on the floor. And roll to your right side. Come on up. And take a comfortable seat. We are going to have Savasana, but we're going to do some mantra meditation first. So elevate your hips. I suggest 1 or 2 blankets. I usually use 2. And they're pretty thick, so I'm sitting up about 4 inches. Like this. It's going to make it much more comfortable to sit. We're just going to sit for a couple minutes. Make sure you're warm. Very good. Join your index fingers and thumbs. It's called the Jnana Mudra, which means mudra of knowledge. It's also called Chin Mudra, which is another name for consciousness. Palms down. Sit real tall. Take your shoulders back. From your pelvis now, just root into the earth. And as you root the earth, lengthen up through the top of the head. The more earth, the more air. The more you grow yourself and ground yourself, the more capacity you have to fly. Now lengthen the space between sitting bones and head. Invite your breath into the central channel of your spine, like right through the midline of your spine, and lengthen from hips to the top of the head. Allow your shoulders to relax. Let your hips get very heavy. You have this length. The center of the spine becomes a conduit for bigger energy. And take 2 or 3 deeper breaths now. Hold the internal alignment, but let your skin and muscles drape over the inner radiance. Imagine a column of radiant light right through the center of the spine. Now we'll practice mantra meditation. We'll use the mantra Ham-sa, H-A-M-S-A, which means I am that. Hum means I am, and sa means that, or all that is, referring to all of the universe. So I am the universe is me. So when you inhale, just think the sound hum. And when you exhale, think the sound sa. Coordinate it with the breath in the beginning. Now, ultimately, the mantra is independent of any breath rhythm. So continue the thought of the mantra, hum, sa, and let your breath be natural. If your mind gets carried away into other thoughts, that's totally fine. Once you become aware of that, then bring your awareness back to the mantra. Now begin to let go a little bit more. You may notice at various times that you go deeper. The breath becomes slower. The mind is at ease. This is the meditative effect of the mantra, so follow that, allow that to happen. Let the mantra be your guide into the deeper inner realms of consciousness. Very slowly, you may open your eyes and come down onto your back in Shavasana. So we'll rest for a few minutes. Make yourself comfortable. You could put a blanket roll under the base of your thighs. Once you're comfortable in Shavasana, take a couple of breaths and see if you can relax your whole body. Allow your muscles to melt away from the bones. Let your bones descend into the earth. Even let your organs be drawn to the back of the body and the power of gravity. Allow your breath to become soft. We'll go through the 5 elements now just as a reminder and to help us go even deeper. Relax the earth element. The whole physical body descends into the earth with steadfastness. The earth holds you, provides support, protection, and keeps you safe. And now release and relax the water element. Watch the wave-like motion in your belly caused by the breath. Water is soft, it's healing. It goes around obstacles. And water always returns to the source. Let yourself return to the source of consciousness. Ride in the current of the breath. Allow the fire element to release. You can still feel the warmth of the practice. And see if you can let fire burn away what's no longer needed. With unwavering dedication, you follow your heart. Fire is the element of alchemical transformation. It has the power to change your state from a lower state to a more subtle state, like earth to heat and light, and water. When fire is applied to water, it turns it into steam. Let fire purify you and help change your state. And then release the air element. Take a breath in from the soles of the feet and breathe out through the top of your head. Flush your whole body with air. The breath is the medium between the dreams you carry in your heart and the outer manifestation. And then finally open to sky. Be in the vastness of the mystery of Source. And when you go to this Source place, it's healing, rejuvenating. Let go fully now. In a moment, you'll hear 3 chimes. Let these 3 chimes assist you in your turn to conscious awareness. Slowly begin to return. Move your fingers and toes. And draw your knees in towards your chest. Roll to the right side. And as you're ready, use both hands. Push down on the floor and come up to sitting. You'll sit for a moment together, so sit tall. Arrange your body according to the elements. Roll your thigh bones in for water. Draw your tailbone in for fire. Lift your heart for air. Let your hips be heavy in the earth. Close your eyes. Let your whole body be filled with the breath. And let the breath carry the light of consciousness into every cell. Visualize a whole network, a matrix of layers, sheets of light inside. And then draw into your heart the place where all of the 5 elements find their balance. The heart as the center of the universe. When you're in your heart, life instantly gets better. And let's open to the bigger energy. We don't heal ourselves. It is the bigger energy that heals us. The best we can do is align. And that's exactly what you did today. That's the whole purpose and intent of the Ashaya path. May we align with our heart and open to the bigger energy. So we can be an inspiration in this world. We can be a light in this world to illumine the darkness, to release the suffering, and to inspire others to rise up and know that the spirit, the great universe of all possibilities, lives inside each one of us. Bring your palms together now in front of your heart. Let's tap into the one light, the one breath we all breathe, and the one heart with the sound of Om. 5 elements in me bow to the 5 elements in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day. Okay, bye for now.